This is Piggly and Wiggly. It's a conjoined pig. They're some of my favorites. Those are two that my daughter is in love with and said we can never sell.
James Freeman lives in Pine Lake, Georgia, on a quiet, narrow road with a quaint police department on one end and a beachy lake where neighbors take dips at the other. His neighborhood has a sleepy, almost Twilight Zone quality to it. One spring morning, he emerged from his house dressed in an all-black suit, that includes the shirt and the tie, and cheerfully welcomed his guests. We passed a shrunken head hanging from a tree branch in his yard, a leftover Halloween decoration, he explained, and entered his home/museum, or what he referred to as a demented Pee-wee's Playhouse. That's where he keeps his personal collection and his inventory for his business, Freeman and Fugate Oddities.
This is an 1891 canard. This is one of the very first Ouija boards ever made. The very first year they were made. I'm a purveyor of the odd and macabre. Death and death-related things. Things that are rare, unique, antique, with a dark or morbid bent. I basically focus on things that are rare and odd, and the reasoning for the death bent, one of the reasonings, is because it's the one thing that we all have in common, and it's the one great mystery. So it's obviously fascinating, and it fascinates lots of people. So basically anyone that looks at what I have can relate to it on some level.
On any given day, there's no telling what you might find in James's collection. But there are a few things you won't ever find him selling.
There are certain things I won't touch. The human remains are one of them, just because the fact that I don't want to deal with it, and the potential that someone gets offended and decides that it's, you know, they want to push the matter, even though it's not illegal. I won't deal with any Nazi items whatsoever. Anything that involves racism or hate, won't touch it. The only thing that I sell that is controversial, I would think, honestly, is the serial killer stuff. Because I have had people get offended by that. But I explain to them it's a piece of history, and it's an interesting way to be able to look into the mind of a person that did these horrible things and see, in some cases, how unfortunately normal they are in their letters and how it would be easily to be fooled by them.
James does most of his selling from his home. About 80 to 90% of his transactions are done through the mail. But he occasionally travels and sets up his booth around town. I asked him how often he gets on the road for work, and one thing was clear: family comes first.
The inspiration behind starting it was my daughter, and she loves it. She gets upset when I sell a piece of taxidermy she likes, or a skull she likes, or a Ouija board especially that she likes. And some of these things I can never sell because she said I can't.